Well, hey guys, Jody Holland here with the Psyche of Success. Today's topic is how can I improve my leadership skills?
This is the Psyche of Success. Podcasting around the globe. Join us as we interview superstars in their respective fields and help you master the psychology of winning big in business and in life. Here's your host, author, speaker, and business coach, Jody Holland.
Kausis and Posner have been researching leadership for much of their adult lives. They've studied great leaders as well as those who don't even rank as acceptable for being left in charge of themselves. Through their research, they say that the first step for others to improve is for the leader to consistently improve themselves. They must, as they put it, model the way, which means they must continuously be seeking their own growth. In today's episode, I'll be taking you through a few key things that you can do to improve your leadership skills and pave the way for your team to do the same thing. If you've not yet subscribed, now's the time to do so. What are you waiting for? Click subscribe and then let your friends know of your intellectual prowess by sharing this podcast on all social media platforms. All right, let's get started. Dr. Edwards Deming gave us the concept of continuous and never-ending improvement. As World War II wound down, Deming was getting started. He was seeking ways to help companies produce at a higher level and to positively impact their bottom line. The problem here in the United States was that most companies simply wanted to do what they had always done instead of learning a new way of thinking and acting. So, he went to the most destroyed and least technologically advanced country he could find, and that was Japan at the time. Through his teachings on continuous improvement and his models of measuring outcomes, he helped to transform the country into a technology powerhouse worldwide. Consider the fact that they lacked the tech to effectively send and receive telegraphs when he started, and you start to realize just how important continuous improvement can be. As a leader, you can only expect others to do what you are first willing to demonstrate for them. If you're unwilling to be coached, unwilling to learn new leadership skills, unwilling to grow personally, don't be surprised if you get the same things from the people that work for you. You have to know the way, go the way, and show the way in order for others to be inspired to do what you say. So, what does it mean to keep improving your leadership skills? Well, I'm glad you asked. To have continuous improvement of who you are as a leader means to maintain a focus on becoming the kind of leader that others desire to follow and desire to be influenced by. In John Maxwell's book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, the first law that he talks about is the law of the lid. This law states that you can only develop your team to one level below where you are. He uses the story of the McDonald brothers and Ray Kroc. Kroc took the efficiencies of the McDonald brothers, the idea of the brothers, and transformed it into the McDonald's empire, with Kroc as the owner instead of the brothers. It wasn't the idea of the restaurant that was so incredible, though. It was the leadership and continuous improvement of Kroc that made the difference. There are a number of skills that you as a leader must master in order to continuously develop your potential as well as the potential of your people. The three primary skills you must master are the ability to create an aligned team, the ability to inspire right actions from others, and the ability to create deep and meaningful relationships through conversations or dialogue. Each of us grows up with experiences that help to shape the meaning we give the world. With each experience, we create a label for that experience, which becomes our belief about the experience itself. In the future, when we experience something similar, we refer back to the label we created and we transfer the meaning to the new experience. This is the process of apperceiving. Apperception is making sense of a current experience based on meaning given to a similar experience in the past. Improving your ability to lead others begins with your ability to love others for who they are and where they are at this exact moment, without giving up the potential they possess for the future. In order to create this aligned team, we develop our skills of communication, particularly our skill of listening. Frederick W. Platt discussed empathetic listening as our ability to invite others in and make them feel valued. Listen to what they have to say with the intent of understanding their perspective, and summarize what we have heard to ensure clarity of empathetic understanding. That may seem like 3 simple steps to understanding others, but listening for the other person's perspective instead of simply listening for your chance to talk, that takes a great deal of discipline. When we make truly understanding the other person and seeing their potential our focus, we are best prepared to lead with aligned thought. It is not until we are truly in alignment that we are able to connect with others. At the end of the day, you are paid to accomplish greatness through others as a leader. This means that you must consider the manner in which people work and how you can best stimulate a desire to perform in others. You are here to get work done. Consider how you motivate others, coach them, correct their wrong behaviors, keep them focused on the right things, create ethical guidelines that they choose to follow, and keep them performing at their best. These skills of a great leader can all be learned and can all be taught. The workflow we follow and the things we accomplish through others are based on our ability to create the kind of environment where top performance thrives and where we accept only top performers into our company. Finally, the way in which we evaluate our performance as well as the performance of our teams will be based on the trust we have built, the standards we have set, and the feedback both given and received. So often, leaders simply assign tasks to employees and never really follow up with them to evaluate whether or not they have successfully completed those tasks. We crave feedback. We need to know that our leaders are paying attention to us. Think about when your child does something at school or accomplishes something in their own life. They come to you, their parent, and show you what they have done. If you brush them off and simply don't care about the outcome, they begin to feel that the outcome doesn't matter and that their efforts have been wasted. If, however, you pay attention and you affirm the effort they put in to achieve the outcome, they are inspired to put in even greater effort in the future. It is the praising of the effort that generates more effort. This model of leading also protects the child from basing their worth solely on the outcomes achieved. Outcomes are a byproduct of effort. Wrong effort yields wrong outcomes. Right effort yields right outcomes. Stay focused on evaluating the behavioral process followed by the person working for you. Evaluate the effort used and not just the outcome. Coach them on controlling what effort or actions they put into their day in order to achieve the right outcomes. Developing the proper techniques for feedback will enable you to inspire greatness in your people. It will make it safe for them to be honest with you about what they feel are their shortcomings, and it will open up dialogue for you to lead the way for them to fix their challenges and achieve greatness. They have to feel safe, though, or they won't open up to you. This is critically important to you. It should be to everyone, because everything in business rises and falls with the direction of leaders. You are here to model the way, as Calzus and Posner stated it. What is the model of greatness that you wish for yourself? What is the model of success that you desire for your company? What is the model of success you are willing to demonstrate for others to follow? There is a 10,000 to 1 variation in brain stimulation from photoreception versus audio reception. This means that we are more stimulated in our brains through the process of visually observing than we are through the process of listening. What people see us doing will therefore be significantly more impactful on their future behaviors than what they hear us telling them to do. If you desire for others to live into their full potential, they must see others doing that very thing. Tony Robbins says the phrase over and over again, proximity is power. I believe what we get from seeing other people playing all out for the achievement of their dreams is the inspired energy to model them ourselves. Just hearing the process of succeeding is not the same as fully witnessing that same thing. This is also true of leadership. The process of hearing about leadership is so different than the process of living into leadership. modeling the specific behavioral patterns required of a great leader. You, as a leader, demonstrate great leadership in order to get great leadership from others. If you don't demonstrate it, you don't get it. The reason you must lead with passion and purpose is so that your teams at all levels in the organization will know what they are to demonstrate back. You are the example that others will follow. Make it a great one. You may be thinking, yeah, this all sounds great, Jody, but how in the heck do I accomplish leading like that? It's a great question, and one that I've worked on providing a systematic answer to for more than 2 decades. The process of growing as a leader begins today with a systematic approach to integrating the right leadership skills into your life. And there are 3 levels of leadership to master. The first is self-leadership. I've said many times that there is no discipline outside of self-discipline. You are who you are and where you are because of the series of choices that you have made in your life. If you wish to be someone or somewhere else, simply make new choices. There are 7 skills involved in leading self, all of which center around the development of your mindset, your belief system, and your focus that you choose. The second level of leadership is leadership over others. There are 12 skills to be mastered in order to build your leadership over other people. They cover everything from diversity and values to the intentional building of a great culture. The third level of leadership is leadership granted by others. The skills in this area involve 6 keys of creating the right model of relationship, the right model for the future, and the right standards for the team. I've been teaching these 3 levels of leadership for over a quarter of a century now, and have seen very clearly the difference it makes when top leaders are modeling the way versus blocking the way. When you begin to teach your people to behave as great leaders, and yet you don't demonstrate and participate yourself, you are the bottleneck. You're the bottleneck that prevents the organization from achieving its full potential. When you do model the way, you are the accelerant that drives the organization towards greatness, purposeful work, fully engaged employees, and as a result of all of that, record profits. So, what will your legacy be as a leader? Will you be the bottleneck or the accelerant? The main thing that you need to remember from today's episode is that you get to determine whether or not your people move forward. That determination is based on your willingness to move forward yourself, your willingness to be the model for them to follow. If you got value on this leadership topic, I encourage you to go check out the Psyche of Success e-learning course titled Leadership Mastery to further develop your leadership skills. You cannot expect from others what you are unwilling to first demonstrate. Are you ready to demonstrate greatness? If so, look for the link in the show notes, or just go to psycheofsuccess.com/store. I'd love to help you achieve greatness inside of you and within your organization. Let me guide you into the leadership potential that you hold. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Psyche of Success. This podcast can be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or on YouTube. Be sure to leave a 5-star rating or a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. I appreciate you taking the time to live into your leadership potential. I'm your host, Jody Holland, and I will see you on the next episode of the Psyche of Success podcast. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for listening to the Psyche of Success. Give us a 5-star rating, subscribe, share with your friends, take out billboards about how much you love us if you want, but just make sure to apply the lessons learned and live fully into your potential. We'll see you next week for another episode of the Psyche of Success.